All right, let's go through some of my notes here. The unforgivable sin is in Luke 12:10. And what is the unforgivable sin? Only the very elect can commit the unforgivable sin. Does that mean you can't go to the other people can't go to hell? No. What is hell? And what is the unforgivable sin? Well, let's talk about it. The unforgivable sin are the people. They're called the very elect. There's 7,000 of them, not the 144,000. The very elect are the 7,000, and these people will be delivered up when Satan is cast to earth with his fallen angels. They'll be here for 2.5 to 5 months, and the very elect will be telling people the truth about him, that he is not Christ, and they'll be delivered up to him. And when they're delivered up to him, if they won't allow God to speak through them, that's the unforgivable sin. That's never going to happen. The very elect are not going to not allow God to speak through them. They'll allow it. Okay, now let's talk about what is hell. There isn't much such thing as hell right now. Hell, well, it's like hell, but it's not. Hell is only going to last about 2 minutes. That's all it's going to last. Right now, if you die and you don't care about God, I don't care who you are, you're going to paradise. Now, what side of paradise you're going on? The not good side or the good side? There's two sides. There's a crevice. There's a gulf between them. And you can't get over to the other side. Those people who don't care about God and don't care about anybody but themselves, and all they cared about is this world, they're going to be on one side of the gulf. And the people who love God and have tried to do God's will, they're on the other side with total love and understanding and beauty, and they're so happy. They're, abundantly happy, because they're free of this flesh. This flesh is like a cold, wet wetsuit. You never want to get back into it if you got out of it. If you were like a near-death experience you've heard people have, and you had to get back into this body, I'm telling you, you might not want to get back into it, because it would not be fun. It would be kind of dirty and nasty to get into, because your spirit body is so much more freeing, and your spirit body you don't have the gravity that we have. We don't have the same laws as gravity and stuff like that. You don't age, you don't get old, you don't get sick and stuff like that in your spirit body. And when you're free of this flesh body, we only came in this flesh body just to find out who loves them. Anyways, let's go to what hell is. Okay, anybody who dies now are going to go to paradise, and they're going to be in paradise on one side of the gulf or the other. And one day, all the souls, there's around 12 billion souls God created. And when that time is up, and all the souls need to be born, and those 144,000 elect are sealed by the 7,000 elect, then this earth age will end. And that means Satan will come, be cast to earth, and he'll be here for 2.5 to 5 months. And while he's here, the most of the world will be worshiping him, because they won't know the difference between the true Christ and the false Christ. The false Christ, when he comes, Satan, when he comes, he's false Christ. You'll be still in the flesh. When the true Christ comes, you'll be instantly changed. That's the seventh seal, the seventh trump, and the seventh vial. 6 comes before 7. The 666, 6 seal, 6 trump, 6 vial comes before 777. 666, 777. Okay. So anyways, when this earth age ends, everybody will instantly at that time will be changed and back into the spirit. So they'll be like all the other people who have come here and died before. and they're in the spirit now. Some will have mortal souls, and some have immortal souls. Immortal souls mean that you're not going to die after they're delivered up and this earth age ends. The very elect, the 7,000, they don't have to worry about, they can't die anymore. They have the everlasting life. They won't die. But the other people who are on here and who'll be back in the spirit body will have mortal souls. And what will happen there's going to be this time called the millennium, and it's strict discipline. It's 1,000 years. It's one day with the Lord. And during that time, there'll be strict discipline. And Satan, at that time, a ban will be put on him. And he will have no influence. He won't have any power over the world at all. And then, after the end of the 1,000 years, when the strict discipline's put on everybody, Satan will be loosed again. He'll be loosed for a very short period, but he won't have the power he had. He still have no influence over the world. And then people will have a chance. They will decide if they're going to walk into the lake of fire, or they're going to stay and have immortal souls and live forever, eternity. And they're going to pretty much choose that by what their actions are during the millennium. And okay, so then what's hell? Okay, they walk into the lake of fire. It's how you're to explain it is the best way is like a lamb on a spit, and the lamb is on the spit and it's turning, and as it gets heated up, the fat drips into the fire and it goes psh. It's like ashes. Once something is ashes, it's gone. It's never to return. It's forever. It's forever. That's what hell is. It's gone. And it will be taken from the people who did care. We'll be glad to get rid of those people who would go to hell, because we don't want them in the eternity, because that's what messed things up before in the first earth age, when we all were in the spirit before, and we were all happy. Before there was any flesh man, we were in the spirit. During the dinosaurs millions of years ago, we were in the spirit. We didn't get age, we didn't get sick, we could live forever. But then Satan screwed things up, and what he did was he did this politically correctness, just like he's doing now. And with the politically correctness and with the four hidden dynasties like he's doing now, what he does is he tries to mess things up. And at one time he was one of the most beautiful. He was made at the full pattern, and he earned it. At one time, Satan did. He was very powerful cherub. So that's what hell is. Hell is, it's over in a couple minutes, and we don't remember those people. It'll be taken from our minds. It's not going to be Aunt Bessie over there frying like a piece of bacon forever and ever, and we're going to just watch her frying. That's not heaven. Heaven is will that be taken from our minds, and we won't remember those people who eventually we won't remember them anymore, because they'll be forgotten. They'll be like ashes. They'll be forever. They'll be gone. So I hope that helped you. Satan right now is in pretty much total control of the world. God is allowing him to do this because no one will study his word. No one will study God's word, so he's allowing Satan to do this. We're doing the borrowing like I talked about, or on the other tape, on the other video, and he's in pretty much in total control now. And he isn't even here yet. Can you imagine once he gets here, de facto here on earth? He's very beautiful, and these angels are very beautiful, and they'll be taking women as wives. I'm doing the same thing as Enoch did. I'm warning you, those fallen angels are coming. They're coming soon. And there's 4 of them here on earth right now. They've been loosed out of the river Euphrates last spring, and they're just starting their havoc on the world. In the world, things are going to get really pretty radical. And it's real important to know this. In Revelations 15, I did a video on it once, that the overcomers will, in Revelations 15, it talks they'll be singing a song, and that song is a song of Moses, and that's in Deuteronomy 32. And if you're an overcomer, if you overcome Satan, you'll be singing that song. So the best you do is find out where that song is and read it. So you don't have to memorize it, because it'll be in, you'll know it. You'll know it automatically when you're an overcomer, when the time comes. But if you're not an overcomer, if you're an overcomer, you're going to be singing that song. If you just think you're a Christian and you're going to overcome and you're not going to even know that, well, that says here the overcomers will be singing that song. The other people won't be. Okay, let me see if there's anything else, and I'll be gone. God in this word, he's teaching you what is going to happen. He tells you in stories like in Exodus and all through the Bible, Jeremiah, he's telling you exactly how things are going to happen. Now, man is always telling you, well, they never read the book, and they're making judgments on it like, oh, it doesn't happen that well. It happens exactly like it's written, and it's always happened like it's just like it's written. And you can prove it from the Bible. How could a book tell you? In Daniel, it tells you who would be in control of Jerusalem from the beginning of time until now. How could a book tell you that? In order, tell you who would be in control of Jerusalem from all through time, in order, even until now. How could a book tell you that? Also, how could a book of Psalms 22, tell you the words that would be coming out of the Roman soldiers' mouths when Christ is being crucified? And how would a couple thousand years ago, how would they know that before it happened? And how would they know what was happening? How would the Bible know what was going to be happening during that time, during that day? Everything, the bulls of Bashan, and there'd be gambling for his clothes, and there's things, a lot of things in the Bible proves there's no possible way man could have ever, and that's what they're wanting to do now, is take God out of everything, and they don't want you to know that. Satan doesn't want you to know these things, these facts. They don't want you to know it. They want you to believe that that there's some other way. I don't know. They have all these different freaky things they come up with. It's going to happen just like it is. No matter what you do, you can kick and scream and cry and do everything you want, but it's going to happen exactly like it's written, and it's not going to happen the other way. And that's all we're going to do. So we'll talk to you soon.